Episode 39, The Search for Starlight. About a week has passed and Starlight Glimmer had attempted to kill Princess Twilight Sparkle. Twilight used her magic and was able to teleport out of Starlight's house just fractions of a second before the house had exploded. Starlight, thinking Twilight is dead, has decided to seek refuge and shelter in the Crystal Empire at her dear friend Sunburst's home. However, Sunburst, after hearing about Starlight's murder attempt on Twilight Sparkle, decided to turn her in. Starlight Glimmer escaped capture and abandoned the Crystal Empire and is still at large. Rather than see Starlight Glimmer be sent to Tartarus, Princess Twilight Sparkle has convinced Princess Celestia to drop the attempted murder charges on Starlight. Twilight decides to take matters into her own hooves, to find Starlight Glimmer and repair their fractured friendship. And so began the search for Starlight. The Crystal Empire. Twilight and Shadow are at the train station exiting the train from Ponyville.
So this is the Crystal Empire I've heard so much about. Is that where your brother lives?
Shadow pointing at the Crystal Palace. Yes, and we'll be spending the night there tonight. Just wait until you see it from the inside. The Crystal Empire is absolutely breathtaking.
Not that I'm going to complain about the romance part, but don't you want to find Starlight? I mean, it is the reason we came on this trip to begin with. What I don't understand is why Starlight wouldn't just use her magic to travel to another planet.
That is a rather good point. Starlight isn't in the best frame of mind at the moment either. I guess the only way we're going to find out the answers is by asking the last pony who saw Starlight. Come on, Shadow. Shadow follows Twilight as she begins flying. Meanwhile, Paradise Island.
It's hard to believe that our honeymoon is almost over. I really had a blast with you this week, Sonic.
I'm having a great time too, Dash. You were right. Paradise Island is full of cool adventures and very romantic.
I'm glad we got away for a while. I can't believe Starlight attempted to kill Twilight. It sounds like when we get back to Ponyville in a few days, that we'll have yet another adventure waiting for us.
I don't even want to think about that. I know we brought our communicators on this trip just in case of an emergency, but I'm regretting having brought them along. I'm glad we made a pact and took them off for the rest of our honeymoon.
I am too. Tomorrow is the day I'm looking forward to the most. We are going to go scuba diving.
I was really hoping you had forgotten about that.
Nope, seriously, it's been the activity I've been most excited about ever since we arrived here. I made sure it was going to be one of the last adventures we had on our honeymoon.
So can I ask what makes this place you're taking me to tomorrow so special?
A couple of months before you came to this planet, Equestria was under attack by this guy called the Storm King. Twilight was throwing her first friendship festival in Canterlot when the Storm King's armada invaded Canterlot. We weren't prepared for the invasion and were caught off guard. Before being turned to stone by Tempest Shadow, Princess Celestia directed us to seek the help of Queen Navo of the Hippogriffs. Once we escaped capture in Canterlot, we set off in search to find Queen Navo. Only when we arrived at the Hippogriffs' kingdom, it was abandoned and completely destroyed by the Storm King. As it would turn out, Queen Navo and the Hippogriffs escaped and sought refuge in this very ocean. Eventually, Princess Skystar of the Hippogriffs helped us, and together we defeated the Storm King. Tomorrow I'm taking you scuba diving so you can meet my friends, Queen Navo and Princess Skystar. And you'll get to see the underwater city they call home.
Wow, this place sounds amazing. Alright, I have to admit, I'm actually looking forward to doing this with you now.
And just think, if I didn't teach you how to swim, you'd never be able to experience a place like this. Oh, and one last thing. I hope you enjoy being a mermaid for a while.
Sonic stunned. A mermaid? The Crystal Empire. Twilight and Shadow have arrived at Sunburst's house. Twilight knocks on the door. Sunburst opens the door.
Princess Twilight, to what do I owe this honor? Please, come in.
It's nice to see you again, Sunburst. I'm sorry we aren't meeting under better circumstances.
I agree. When I heard about what Starlight attempted to do to you, I had no choice but to go to the police. This must be Shadow. I take it Starlight has told you all about me, hasn't she?
Look, it's not my place to judge. However, you really broke her heart horribly. Not that I condone the actions she's taken over the past week, but still she's my best friend. Attempting to turn her into the police was hosed down the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Did Starlight happen to mention or give you any indication as to where she was going after she left here?
No, I don't have a clue. I feel awful for betraying her, but I couldn't allow her to stay here knowing she tried to kill you, Your Highness.
I hope one day she'll forgive me. Well, we share in that sentiment, Sunburst. Is it true that you talked Princess Celestia into dropping the charges on Starlight? Yes, I did. I can't be angry or blame Starlight for attempting to kill me. My actions of kissing Shadow only added to the long list of horrible things that's happened to her over the past couple of weeks. Locking her away in Tartarus just doesn't seem fair to me. That's a gutsy decision, considering how dangerous Starlight gets when she gets this angry. It's my fault that this happened in the first place. I knew kissing Shadow would have consequences, but I didn't kiss him to hurt Starlight. I did it to save Equestria and Shadow from being turned to stone by the elements of harmony.
Damn it! Why do we have to keep apologizing for falling in love, Twilight?
Shadow, I don't regret us being in love, but our love hurt Starlight during a time when she was already going through some pretty traumatic experiences. I know we didn't intend to fall in love, but we have to accept the reality that our relationship inadvertently betrayed Starlight's trust. She's lost everything inside of a 3-week period.
I know, but she's the one who decided to end our relationship. I wanted to try and work things out with her. Instead, she gave up, just like Rouge said she would.
Starlight didn't want to work things out with you, Shadow, because she knew deep down I'm the mare you wanted to be with. Some princess of friendship I turned out to be.
It's not your fault, Twilight. I'm the one who lied to Starlight by trying to stay in a relationship with her, when in reality I knew you were the one I really wanted to be with. I should have told Starlight the truth the night that you and I stopped the riots in Baltimore. I chose not to because you told me you were in love with Flash. So I settled on Starlight because I still loved her, and I figured you weren't going to leave Flash for me.
I guess we were both wrong. I thought if I stayed with Flash long enough that my love for you would eventually go away. But it didn't. It didn't take Flash long to see the truth of who my heart really belonged to, Shadow. I love you. Even though being with you hurt Starlight, I will never regret falling in love with you. Ponyville. Amy and Chris are in their new apartment together. They are officially roommates.
Well, we did it, Amy. We're officially roommates. I can't believe it, Chris. Now all we need is some furniture. I was pretty fortunate that Fluttershy let me have the bed I was using at her house.
I was thinking of heading to the mattress store in town today to pick up a bed for myself. It's going to take a little bit of time, but we'll eventually turn this place into our home.
Don't worry about the groceries. I'll cover us for the week. You getting a bed to sleep in is the most important thing. I can't wait to start buying things for this apartment with you. I'm interested to see what kind of taste you have.
Honestly, I never had anything more than just a bed in the apartment I had on Earth. I was hardly ever there. I was always so busy with work, I just crash on the couch bed in my office.
That's really sad.
Tell me about it. The only reason I had the apartment to begin with was so I had a place to go when I really needed to get out of Thorndike Industries for a day or two. Every so often I'd sneak out and catch a ball game.
How did you ever find the time to build your chaos control machine that brought you here?
It took 4 years to build it. I mostly worked on it during my downtime away from the office. This is going to be awesome, though. Of all the roommates I could have wound up with in life, I never thought it would be you.
I was totally thinking the same thing a few days ago, mainly because I never thought we'd ever see each other again, and somehow here we are. There's something about you, Chris, that makes me comfortable. You've always cared about me, made me smile when I was sad, and you were there as a friend when I needed you. It boggles my mind how a guy like you never fell in love with a girl on your planet. You're a really sweet, kind, and trustworthy friend, and I trust you completely, Chris. For the first time in a very long time, I'm actually happy. I'm happy that you're back in my life. I'm happy to be here, Amy. The reason I never fell in love is because I never had the chance to find it before. I've only been here for a month, and I'll tell you truthfully, this is the best month I've had since you guys left my planet 10 years ago. I hated my life so much I couldn't wait to finish that chaos control machine. I see where my life is headed here in Equestria, and I have to admit, I don't ever intend on going back to my world. Well, that's great to know, because if you ever decided to go back, I'd definitely be going with you.
Mid-afternoon, Fluttershy's cottage.
Wow, it's awfully quiet now that Amy moved out of the cottage. I know, but I'm happy she has her own apartment now with Chris.
I am too. It's nice to see Amy finally getting over Sonic and starting a life here in Equestria. For some reason, I know Amy and Chris are going to do fine living together.
Even still, I'll miss having Amy around. How do you think Rainbow Dash and Sonic are doing on their honeymoon?
I bet they're having a ton of cool adventures. Amy said that Rainbow Dash actually convinced Sonic to go scuba diving. I never thought I'd hear Sonic wanting to do that.
They both have been such a positive influence on each other.
Well, for Sonic, I think he finally found a girl who can keep up with him and loves a good adventure as much as he does. I was beyond impressed at how tough Rainbow Dash was against the changelings. Like Sonic, Rainbow Dash fights for her friends and to protect Equestria from the bad guys.
Dash would give anything to protect the one she loves and Equestria. You're right, though. I've only known Sonic for 6 months, but I have seen the same heroic traits in him that Rainbow Dash has.
I really do believe they were made to be together. We all seem to be thriving, falling in love, and for the first time we're able to relax a bit and just enjoy life. After I lost Cosmo, I really thought that was it. In my mind, I had no longer had a future worth living for because I didn't think I'd ever be able to fill the space in my heart that Cosmo claimed. Then I met you, and all of a sudden I had hope again, even though I didn't want to admit it right away. Like Cosmo, you're beautiful, kind, pure of heart, honest, and most of all, you support your friends no matter what. You're also strong and brave when it's most necessary. I don't think you give yourself enough credit for that, Fluttershy.
Thanks, Tails, but I'm not really all that brave.
You're so much tougher than you realize. I know you don't like fighting or hurting others physically, but you helped bring Chrysalis down by using the elements of harmony. You helped reform Discord when no one else wanted to, and you were there for me when I needed you to grieve Cosmo. Fluttershy, you never judged me, and you gave me comfort during those rough times. You gave me hope and made me see that I did have a future to look forward to after Cosmo's death. I really love you, Shy. I'm happy we found each other, and even more happy that you love me too. Fluttershy blushes and smiles. Tails and Fluttershy share a gentle kiss. Paradise Island, around dinner time. Sonic and Rainbow Dash are in their bedroom of the Honeymoon suite, getting ready to go out for a dinner.
I had fun at the beach today with you, Dashy. I did too. Nothing better to this pony than soaking up the nice warm rays of paradise, with the Hedgie of her dreams, of course.
It's cute when you call me Hedgie. So what did you have a taste for tonight?
I was thinking of heading down to the bar and grill downstairs. The Sapphires are playing down in the theater tonight, and I was hoping to snag us some tickets.
Oh, they must be a band of some kind.
Yeah, it's not usually my kind of music, but I grew up listening to them because of my parents. They do a lot of love and romance songs, but I know enough of their songs to sing along. Besides, we are on our honeymoon, so this genre of music kind of fits, I think.
Knock on the door. Were you expecting some Pony Dash? Rainbow Dash shakes her head no.
Come on, let's see who could be.
Rainbow Dash and Sonic open the door. Rainbow Dash is shocked to see Daring Do standing in front of her. Happy honeymoon. May I come in?
course.
Daring Do enters the honeymoon suite. My apologies for interrupting your blissful getaway, but I'm still trying to keep a low profile, and this is the only chance I have at giving this to you. Daring Do gives Rainbow Dash the Diary of Princess Soletta.
The Diary of Princess Soletta?
Consider that my wedding gift to you. That diary is the most shocking book you'll ever read. There are 2 reasons I'm giving that diary to you. The first is on page 527, and the second is, I know you and your friends harness the power of the elements of harmony, and there's quite a significant amount of secrets that lie in that diary about them.
What's on page 527?
My ancestor, Prince Tully. There is so much more to that diary than just ancestry. That diary is over 30,000 years old, and what's even more unbelievable is that there's factual historical evidence that suggests that we come from the planet Mobius. Rainbow Dash opens the diary to page 527. Rainbow Dash is stunned by the photo and the resemblance between Prince Tully and Sonic.
I can't believe the resemblance between you and your ancestor. You two could seriously be twins.
I'm sorry, I couldn't make it to your wedding. Like I said, I'm trying to keep a low profile right now because my enemies believe they have killed me.
Yeah, Sonic told me you were attacked by Cabaleron and that he stole a Chaos Emerald from you.
He did indeed, but the part that's most troubling is the fact that Cabaleron said he was working for King Sombra.
That's impossible. Twilight and Spike got rid of him for good a couple of years ago.
That's what I thought too. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here and let you 2 go back to enjoying your honeymoon.
We will, and thanks for giving me this diary. I know my friend Twilight has been searching for months for a piece of evidence like this, explaining our origins from Mobius.
Just be careful with that diary. If the wrong pony were to ever get their hooves on it, it would jeopardize the safety of the entire planet. Like I said, you and your friends harness the elements of harmony, and in my mind, the diary means more to you guys than it does to me. Daring Do hugs Rainbow Dash. Congratulations on your marriage, Rainbow Dash. I'll see you around. Daring Do leaves Sondash's honeymoon suite. The Crystal Empire. The Crystal Palace. Prince Shining Armor, Princess Cadence, Princess Twilight Sparkle, Shadow, and Flurry Heart eating dinner in the dining room.
Shadow, Shadow, Shadow.
You're excited to see me again, huh, Flurry Heart?
Twilight giggles at how cute Shadow is playing with Flurry Heart. Aw, Shadow, you're melting my heart playing with her like that.
Flurry Heart and I are buds.
So, are you 2 staying for a few days? Afraid not. I really need to find Starlight and at least try to fix things with her. I know she tried to kill me, but she's gone through so much over the past several weeks with being abducted by Chrysalis, losing her baby, and losing Shadow because it was my kiss that broke the spell on him. Yeah, I'd say she's had more than enough stressors to push her over the deep end lately, and I feel responsible for at least part of her heartache. No offense, Twily, but she probably wants nothing to do with you. You convinced Princess Celestia to drop the charges on her. Just leave it at that and move on with your life with Shadow.
I agree with your brother on this one.
Look, I have to try. I feel like I have no business being the Princess of Friendship for betraying Starlight the way I did. In your defense, Twilight, you didn't kiss Shadow to hurt Starlight. You kissed him because you knew it would break Chrysalis' spell on him, which also means that Shadow had to be in love with you for that to happen. In other words, Shadow and Starlight's breakup isn't all on your hooves, Twilight. You were trying to save Shadow from Chrysalis' control. One of these days, I believe Starlight will realize that and eventually forgive you, but she needs time to get there. It's like you said, she's been through a myriad of horrible things happening to her lately. Speaking of which, how have you been feeling lately, Shining Armor? Did my spell work and rid you of all the evil spirits that were affecting you? Shining Armor gives a mildly devious smirk. Yeah, it really did the trick, Twilight. It really has, Twilight. He hasn't had any personality changes or rage outbursts like he was having before. Thanks for working your magic on him, because it was really beginning to scare me just how much Shining Armor was changing. I was debating on canceling the Heartswarming celebration because of it. Well, thanks to Twilight's spell, I'm fine now, so no need to cancel the holiday celebration. You are still coming, right, Twilight? Absolutely. Shadow and I wouldn't miss the Heartswarming Day celebration here in the Crystal Empire. Are Mom and Dad still coming? As far as I know, yes. Good, because I can't wait to see them again, and I'm looking forward to Shadow meeting Mom and Dad too. That, and you definitely don't want to miss the huge surprise I have in store for the Crystal Ponies. Well, and all of Equestria for that matter. Shining Armor gives a devilish smirk after saying this statement. Shadow fires a glance at Shining Armor because he briefly sensed the enormous power of King Sombra, who is now nearing the end of completely taking over Shining Armor's mind, body, and soul. Sensing King Sombra's power has given Shadow a very uneasy feeling. Shadow knows he is no match for the power he just sensed. King Sombra's possession of Shining Armor began during Flurryheart's crystallizing ceremony, when baby Flurryheart accidentally shattered the Crystal Heart to pieces with her uncontrollable magic, thus allowing King Sombra to awaken inside of Shining Armor's body, where he lay dormant for a few years. During the initial fight with King Sombra, Shining Armor's unicorn horn was damaged by King Sombra when Sombra's magic formed black crystals on Shining Armor's horn. Those black crystals were in actuality fragments of King Sombra's spirit. After Sombra's defeat at the hands of Spike, the black crystals disappeared off of Shining Armor's horn. At least that's what every pony thought. The black crystals were absorbed into Shining Armor's body, and once Flurryheart shattered the Crystal Heart by accident, those black crystals ignited inside of Shining Armor, thus beginning King Sombra's reincarnation by using Shining Armor as his surrogate body. Shining Armor's time of being alive is running out, and the worst part of all, no pony realizes the severity of the situation that would soon be occurring. The next morning, Rainbow Dash and Sonic are enjoying their final days of their honeymoon. The happy couple is putting on scuba diving equipment as the boat they're on nears its final destination. I know you taught me how to swim and all, Dash, but I have to admit I'm still really nervous about going scuba diving.
I know you're scared, Sonic, but like always, I'm going to be right there next to you the entire time. I promise you, I won't let anything happen to you out there today. I love you too much to lose you. I'll admit, being able to breathe underwater is strange at first, but eventually you'll get comfortable being able to do it. Just wait until we get down there and Queen Navo uses her magic pearl to turn us both into mermaids. We won't even need the scuba equipment to be able to breathe and talk underwater.
You know, Dash, as much as being underwater scares me, I never feel like I truly ever thanked you for helping me learn how to swim, and more importantly, helped me conquer my fear of being in the water. I would have never been able to conquer my fear had it not been for the love and trust I had in you. Don't get me wrong, I'm trembling right now at the thought of doing this, but I know you'll be there to help me if I need you.
You know I'll be at your side with every stroke we take. I'm really proud of you, Sonic, for facing your fears and learning how to swim, and for going scuba diving with me today.
Rainbow Dash gives Sonic a kiss.
The best thing about us, Sonic, is that I know no matter what, we both have each other's back. I love you, hubby.
Sonic gives Rainbow Dash a grin. I love you too, Dashy. Meanwhile, Twilight and Shadow are sitting and snuggling on a train to Starlight's old village. They just left the Crystal Empire and are making their way to the Equality Village. Is everything all right?
Yeah, I think so. Why do you ask?
You didn't sleep much last night, and you haven't uttered more than a few words to me since dinner last night. I'm just curious to know if you had something troubling you, or if I may have done something wrong.
No, you didn't do anything wrong, Twilight, but you are quite astute about something being on my mind. Last night, while we were having dinner with your family, I sensed something. I sensed an incredibly powerful and very evil presence in the room with us while we were eating. For a split second, I thought the power I was sensing was coming from your brother, Shining Armor. Twilight, this power was enormous, so much so it has me on edge, because it's even more powerful than both our powers. I only sensed it for a few seconds, and it vanished just as quickly as it arrived.
How else would you describe what you felt?
It was coming from the direction of Shining Armor, and it was pure evil. Like I said, I only felt it once, and only for a few seconds, but I've been nervous ever since I felt it. I've been in many battles in my lifetime, but what I sensed last night has shaken me to the core.
I wonder if you were sensing the spirit of King Sombra. Right before Rainbow Dash and Sonic's wedding, Shining Armor and Princess Cadance came to me and wanted to talk in private in my chamber. My brother admitted to me he was going through personality and mood changes, and that he felt as if he were King Sombra.
Are you telling me I was sensing a damn ghost last night?
Yes, but King Sombra's spirit is not your average ghost. While being alive in this realm, King Sombra used dark magic, so when he was defeated by Princesses Celestia and Luna, his soul became a shadow spirit, or in our world, a demon. The thing about shadow spirits is that they have the ability to control your mind and your actions. Like I was saying, Shining Armor and Princess Cadance came to me about this right before Dash and Sonic's wedding ceremony. There wasn't much I can do for my brother other than cast a spell on him to attempt to rid him of any evil spirits that were attached to him. It seemed to have worked in the moment, but if you were able to sense Sombra's presence last night, I may have to go back during the holidays and intensify the cleansing spell I used. The girls and I may even have to use the elements of harmony on Shining Armor to help rid him of King Sombra's spirit if it gets to that level of desperation.
Twilight, I know you want to find Starlight and try to repair your relationship with her, but do you think we should hold off on it and deal with this ghost or evil spirit that seems to be possessing Shining Armor? Because I'm telling you, the power and evil I sensed in that room last night was frightening, even for me. Honestly, that's why I couldn't sleep. I didn't want anything bad to happen to you, so I stayed awake as long as I could to protect you.
No, we need to make amends with Starlight, or at least try to anyway. Like I said, we'll be back in the Crystal Empire in a month for Heartswarming. I'll make sure I intensify my cleansing spell I used. It is strange, though, that Sombra's spirit is still present in the Crystal Empire, considering the Crystal Heart is indeed functioning properly.
I think you're taking this situation far too lightly, Twilight. We aren't just dealing with a ghost or a shadow spirit, as you say. If we were, I wouldn't be this uneasy right now, and after feeling what I felt last night...
Twilight kisses Shadow gently on the cheek. Shadow, I sensed Sombra last night too. There's really nothing we could have done to rid Shining Armor of his spirit last night. I promise, during the Heartswarming celebration, I will bring the element of magic, and I'll use its power to intensify my magic, to rid my brother of Sombra's spirit, once and for all.
I hope you're right, Twilight. I just hope another month isn't too late.
Sugar Cube Corner.
So, how did your first full day living with Chris go? It was nice, actually. We didn't really do anything out of the ordinary. The usual decorating and going out and buying a few pieces of furniture. Chris bought a bed for his room, but it's not being delivered until tomorrow, along with the sofa we ordered. So wait, where did Chris sleep? With me, of course. Nothing happened, Pinky. We slept together a couple of times already at Fluttershy's. I will admit, it is nice sleeping with him, especially when his arms are wrapped around me and I feel warm and secure in his embrace. Aw, that's really cute. It feels great, yes, but I know how Chris feels about falling in love with anything other than a human. I'm afraid it'll never be anything more than just friendly cuddles amongst friends. He seems to really like you in that kind of sense, though, Amy. Do you ever think he'll ever change his mind? I hope, but I doubt it. Chris thinks the same as all humans do. Humans aren't supposed to fall in love with anyone other than a human. Chris doesn't look at me the same way I look at him. I look at Chris the same as I look at you. We're a different species, yes, but we're still intelligent life forms, the same as humans. It's hard for Chris because in his world, hedgehogs are tiny creatures who are kept as pets, whereas on Mobius, we are the human equivalent. I don't think he'll ever see it that way or look past it. Do you love him? Yes, and it scares me because I know he'll never look past that stupid human phobia. I'm crazy about him, Pinky. I want to tell him so bad, but I know it would only end in heartbreak for me, and I've dealt with that enough. Right now, I'm happy with just having him in my life again, and I refuse to risk what I have with him. Even though I'd love so much more, I can't risk what I have with him already. It means too much to me to risk. The only thing I can tell you is to be patient and see if he makes the move on you. I know what I've witnessed between the two of you, and personally, I think it's only a matter of time before he falls in love with you too, Amy. Thanks, Pinkie Pie. I hope you're so right about that.
Elsewhere, Rainbow Dash and Sonic were continuing their honeymoon. The happy couple is currently scuba diving a several hundred feet below the surface of the water. Sonic, although still a bit nervous, is enjoying all the coral formations and sea creatures he was seeing for the first time in his life. Rainbow Dash was leading the way, occasionally glancing back to make sure Sonic was all right. After a couple of minutes, Rainbow Dash fixates her eyes on something she recognizes. She excitedly motions to Sonic that she found what she was looking for. Rainbow Dash leads Sonic into the underwater throne room of Queen Navo of the Hippogriffs. Queen Navo embraces Rainbow Dash and extends a welcome to both her and Sonic. After the greetings were concluded, Queen Navo retrieves a magical pearl, and the magic of the pearl turns Rainbow Dash and Sonic into mermaids. Queen Navo and Princess Skystar smile. Sonic, beginning to panic, cover his mouth by trying not to breathe.
I can't believe you came for a visit. This is so cool. I told you I'd come down sometime. Sonic, you're a mermaid now. You can officially breathe and talk now.
Sonic inhales some water. Ugh, I'm not sure how I feel about this right now, Dash. What happened to my legs?
Well, duh. Queen Navo used her magical pearl to turn us into mermaids so we can breathe and talk while we visit them. Don't worry, Sonic. Queen Navo will turn us back to normal once we get back up to the surface. I know this experience is scary for you, but trust me when I say you're safe down here.
It's just different, that's all. You were right, babe. This place is breathtaking. I'm really glad you talked me into doing this with you. So, who is your friend?
This is my husband, Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic, these are my friends Queen Navo and her daughter, Princess Skystar.
It's a pleasure to meet the two of you, your majesties. Rainbow Dash told me about what happened to your home at the hands of the Storm King. I'm sorry he destroyed it. Thanks, but there's no need. There's no need to be concerned. We hippogriffs have done quite well for ourselves adapted to our lives here in the ocean. Congratulations on your marriage, Rainbow Dash.
Thanks, Queen Navo. Sonic and I are actually nearing the end of our honeymoon, and I really wanted him to see your home. This place is amazing, and I wanted to experience it with him. I hope you don't mind.
Of course not. You and the rest of your friends are always welcome here in my kingdom, especially after defeating the Storm King.
Yeah, it was one of our tougher fights, but like always, the Harnesses of Harmony were victorious. You helped us out big time too, Princess Skystar. I did? Definitely. Well, it was cool to represent the hippogriffs and exact a little bit of revenge on the Storm King for what he did to our kingdom.
And you fought bravely. I'm proud of you, Skystar. You show great leadership, proving that you will make a fine queen for our race someday.
Queen Navo, now that the Storm King is gone, do you and the hippogriffs ever plan on reclaiming your territory above ground?
I highly doubt it. I've come to the realization that the hippogriffs are safer here than we are on land. So for now, I believe it best that our race remain living here beneath the ocean.
But we can visit Equestria sometime, right?
Well, of course we can. And you can visit there any time you'd like, Skystar.
That would be totally awesome. You can visit Sonic and I in Ponyville whenever you like.
I intend to take you up on that offer in the future, Rainbow Dash. You know, it just occurred to me that the last time you were here, we didn't give you the grand tour of our underwater kingdom. I'd be much obliged to give you one now if you'd like.
Yeah, sure. Does that sound okay to you, Sonic?
Absolutely. Sounds cool with me. Okay then, follow me. Queen Navo begins showing Rainbow Dash and Sonic around the underwater kingdom. Equality Village. Twilight and Shadow walking towards the one-street town. Shadow puzzled.
This is it? Starlight actually lived in this village?
She didn't just live in this village. She brainwashed the entire village and ruled it with an iron hoof.
Really? Okay, let's hear the story.
After Starlight left Mobius, she returned here to Equestria and came to this village. She convinced every pony in town to give up their cutie marks, thus taking away every pony's unique talent.
How could Starlight take away a pony's cutie mark? And why did the villagers let her do it?
Starlight's magic is very powerful. Starlight brainwashed the villagers into thinking that their cutie marks were curses that divided the ponies of Equestria. She also convinced them that their lives would be better without cutie marks because all ponies would be equal with no special talents. Starlight even created an elaborate ritual to remove the villagers' cutie marks. Once the cutie marks were removed, Starlight stored them in a magically sealed vault and told the villagers they were allowed to visit their cutie mark as a reminder of what they sacrificed to create this perfect, equal society, so to speak.
How did you stop her?
My entire team was summoned here by the cutie map. It didn't take long for us to figure out what was going on here. Shortly after we arrived, we met secretly with one of the villagers here. Her name is Sugarbell, and she told us what Starlight had done and where to find the secret vault that held the town's cutie marks. After hearing Sugarbell's story, I politely confronted and questioned Starlight about it. Surprisingly, she didn't hesitate to show us the vault. I didn't realize me and my team were walking into a trap. After arriving in the cave that served as the cutie mark vault, Starlight instructed her hench ponies to ambush us, allowing Starlight to steal our cutie marks and all of our special powers and talents. After that, Starlight had us sealed in a bunker where my team and I were brainwashed for days in an attempt to persuade us to join her equality movement. We used that time to come up with a plan to not only get our cutie marks back, but the entire town's as well.
Obviously, you were successful in reobtaining your cutie mark.
Yes, our plan worked, and we did receive help from the villagers here too. After that, Starlight vowed revenge and disappeared into a portal she created with her magic. Starlight would return 6 months later, and that's when she tried to kill me for the first time.
So who technically won the fight between you and Starlight?
Technically, I would say I did. Our powers were equal, and our fight had no end in sight, as we were locked in a never-ending stalemate. Starlight began sharing her past with me during our fight, and somehow I was able to convince her to let go of her pain and give friendship a try. I told her I would be willing to help her and to be her friend. Needless to say, she backed down, and Starlight became a friend and my pupil. I earned her trust, Shadow.
That's why making amends with her is so important to me. I failed her, especially as a friend.
Shadow rests his hand underneath Twilight's chin.
We fell in love, Twilight. We tried to fight what we felt for each other, but you can't keep feelings like that from coming out. I don't want you to regret falling in love with me. And besides, what good would it do anyway? I love you, Twilight, and I'm not hiding it anymore. And I certainly am not going back to Starlight.
Twilight smiles. I feel guilty for hurting Starlight, but I will never regret falling in love with you, Shadow. I love you so much. Twilight begins kissing Shadow. Do you see that house at the end of town?
Yes.
That was Starlight's house when she was living here. I'm not sure if she still owns it or not, but if she's here, that's probably where she'd be. Twilight gasps. Big Mac and Sugar Belle are kissing.
Big Mac? You and Sugar Belle are dating?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. I'm really happy for you two. Does Applejack and Apple Bloom know about this?
Apple Bloom, yes. I haven't told Applejack yet. Sugar Belle is coming to Sweet Apple Acres for Heartswarming this year, and we're going to tell Applejack and Granny Smith about us dating. And dating and all during the holidays.
Oh, this is so great.
It's nice to see you again, Princess Twilight.
Likewise, Sugar Belle.
This is my boyfriend, Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow extends his hand. Sugar Belle obliges with her hoof.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
So what brings you out to these parts of Equestria?
Shadow and I are looking for Starlight. Have you seen her in town at all over the past week?
No, in fact, it's been over a year since Starlight has been here last.
Why, is she in some sort of trouble? Her and I have had a falling out, and I'm trying to find her so I can sincerely apologize to her and salvage what's left of our friendship.
I see. Well, she isn't here, that's for sure.
Does any pony live in Starlight's old house?
No, it's been abandoned ever since you and your friends came to town and got our cutie marks back from Starlight. She did stay there the last time she was here, but it was only for one night. She was helping us put on that festival, and she ran off out of town because she said she had some emergencies she had to take care of.
Yeah, that's when we were captured by Chrysalis, and Starlight had to save us. So what do you want to do, Shadow? Do you want to stay in town overnight or fly back to the castle now?
After the sleepless night I had last night, I would definitely prefer going back to the castle and getting a good night's rest.
Okay, Big Mac, Sugar Belle, it was nice seeing the two of you and seeing you guys together. I hope to see you around Ponyville soon, Sugar Belle.
Well, you never know.
Twilight?
Yeah, Big Mac?
Please don't go telling Applejack about seeing me with Sugar Belle. I want this to be a surprise for Heartswarming.
Twilight runs her hoof over her mouth.
Not to worry, my lips are sealed.
Meanwhile, in Canterlot, Starlight is standing outside of Some Pony's house. Starlight takes a deep breath and knocks on the door. Sunset Shimmer answers the door.
Starlight Glimmer, what brings you to my home this evening?
It's been far too long. I can trust you, right? You're not going to turn me in? Sunset Shimmer laughs.
Now why would I do that?
Besides, haven't you heard? The Princess of Friendship dropped the charges on you, so no worries. Why in Equestria did you try to kill her this time? She stole the most valuable thing in my life, and I wanted revenge. She betrayed my trust and stole my fiancé. I still want her dead. Sunset, I know you hate her as much as I do, so why don't we work together to bring her down? Don't get me wrong, I hate Twilight as much as I ever did, but she is a princess now, and it's the death penalty automatically for killing royalty. Need I remind you of who it was who took your place as Princess Celestia's favorite student? Just think, if it hadn't been for Twilight, you may have become Princess Celestia's protege
And who knows, you could have become a princess instead of Twilight. Even if I agreed to help you, what good would it do? Twilight is far more powerful than both of us now. What if I told you there was a way to make us the two most powerful ponies in Equestria? How? Okay, I'm in. Excellent. We will bring Princess Twilight Sparkle down together. Starlight Glimmer and Sunset Shimmer hoofshake to seal the deal. To the death of Princess Twilight Sparkle.